Welcome, and I'm super excited about showing you everything about Instagram. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, but I live in Northeast Tennessee, and I've been in business for 9 years. And again, for those of you guys that are watching or watching the replay, I'm trying to get into the whole Star Wars look, so it's hard to pull off a blazer with a t-shirt. Let's get started today. So this is the agenda. This is what we're going to be talking about. So 40% of surveyed businesses have been posting more frequently on social media during the pandemic, with 24% saying that they shared live videos. The key here is videos. I'll be sharing my best tips in this webinar. So we're going to talk about each of these features in detail. Again, I am here for you guys. If you have questions, I think Tamara might unmute herself and be like, hey, we just got a whole bunch of questions about this. Can you go back a second and talk more about this in detail? So let's get started. This cartoon always makes me laugh. I get a kick out of it because I think it's the story of everyone's life when it comes to Instagram. Instagram has over 1 billion with a B monthly active users. Instagram has over 500 million daily active users, and Instagram has 58 times more engagement per follower than Facebook. Because of the 500 million people that are active on Instagram daily, 79% of them search the social media platform for a product or service. So this is really important for you guys because I know a lot of you guys have a service-based business. So this is my bio. So if you were to go to my Instagram, I try to tell a story. Everything I'm going to be teaching you guys, how to engage, how to like, how to, do all its hashtags, the location based, the stories. All this is going to lead people to your profile, hopefully. You want to tell a story in your bio. And all these strategies that I'm showing you it's important for business accounts. So you can convert your Instagram personal account with a business account, and you go up here to your profile, and then you go up here where the lines are, and it says something about settings and using business tools. And then you can sync your Instagram personal account with a Facebook business page, and that's how you can convert it to a business page. It's pretty self-explanatory. But what I wanted to stop here and pause and talk about was the bio. What can you say in your bio that tells a story? Tamara and I are obsessed with Mark Schaefer. I love the example he talks about only I or only we. What is it about you that makes you unique, that makes you the right person to work with, to buy products from, to sell stuff with? So when you see my bio, my username right here is Valentina EG, and so that's what's searchable. Another thing that's searchable is your name up here. So Valentina Escobar-Gonzalez MBA. People are usually searching for my name, and that's how they find me. It's not necessarily my business beyond engagement. It's actually my name that stands out to people. So I tell a story. Half of us are married, so I say that I'm a wife, so people can relate with me. I'm a mom. Half of us have kids. Other half have dogs or cats. So I'm a chocolate lab mom. I'm an owner of my business. I'm a marketing consultant. I'm a speaker. I'm a board member. I'm a Noonday ambassador. I'm a Gator fan, which gets me really in trouble in this side of Tennessee. So, and then I have a Linktree account. I have multiple things that I do. So I highly encourage, if you guys have multiple pages or multiple things that you have to talk about, to get a Linktree account. And there I tell people to support my dancing with the Tri-City stores, or go to my next webinar, sign up for my email newsletter, or talk about more about the food bank that I'm a board member of. Let me stop for a second here. I think I'm seeing some questions. Let me see. Let me look at the chat box here.
Yep. I've got some questions. You can read them as well, but I'll tell you what they are.
Okay.
Michael Stone was asking about a personal Instagram account versus a business Instagram account. Can he have both? And what does he need to do to add a business account to his personal?
Okay, so right here, this was previously a personal account. It looks the same. You can actually have up to 5 accounts on your Instagram app. So if I go here, there's a little drop down arrow appears, and I manage my Rotary Club's Instagram account. And at one point, I had 5 accounts that I was managing. I used to manage the social media for my clients up until March 1st. Then I stopped and just focusing on webinars. But you can have a personal account and you can have a business account. I am like someone else in this room. I'm a mom with little kids. I don't have time to manage 2 different accounts. I'm honest with myself. If I'm, managing one really well, I don't see myself managing 2 really well. And I'm very honest. So you can just convert your personal account. Again, you go to your profile, your bio, you go to the 3 lines here, and it says something about settings or business tools. Use business tools. You click that button, and you can start changing it to a business account, and it's going to ask you to sign into your Facebook. So remember your password, and then it's going to pick up your Facebook account and pick up any of the business pages you have, and then you say, I want to link this Instagram account to this business page, and then it converts it. And I also get this really big question. I'm going to just answer it already. I didn't see any change in my engagement, any change in how people interact with my business account when I converted it from personal to business. So I was very scared for a really long time to change my personal to my business, and I saw that it didn't affect it, and I was able to get more tools, and these tools are what I'm going to be showing you right now. So you'll see what the benefit is to having a business account in the next few slides. So let me continue on here. But again, I just wanted to mention the fact that when you have an Instagram account, it's really good to tell a story of what is the substance, and I think two of you ladies have lost a daughter. So you can say, I founded this organization, I founded this business, or I founded this idea because I was inspired and I want to honor my daughter. Okay, I have another, let me look at the chat box here. Yes, there you go, Linktree.
Yep.
What if I don't want to link it to my Facebook business page? So that's the thing, in order to utilize your Instagram business account, you have to link it to a Facebook business page. There's another different type of Instagram, and it's for Instagram influencers or bloggers. So that's another type of Instagram that you can have, but it all looks the same basically. What I'm going to show you in the next few slides is how to add the buttons, the promotions, and you're seeing everything as how I see it, as a back end user, not necessarily as a customer. So just be mindful of that. So that's the thing. You have to link it to a Facebook business page if you want to utilize these business tools. So one of the things, and I don't know if you guys are in the same boat as me, one of the biggest things is, what am I going to post? So here are some ideas that I can share with you. You can post about thought leadership. You can talk about product features, product launches, user-generated content, 73%. I'm going to tell you why this is so important. So 73% of people said that user-generated content reassured them about the decision to buy a particular product. What is user-generated content? This is when you share a picture. Let's say I'm at an ice cream place and I take a picture of the ice cream that I'm eating, and then I post it. That ice cream store can ask me for permission and say, hey, Valentina, can I borrow that picture and we share it? And yeah, of course. So when they share that picture of me eating the ice cream, that is what user-generated content is. So 73% of people said that user-generated content reassured them about their decision to buy a particular product. So let me see here. I just saw that. I have another chat question. Let me just see.
Yeah, Kristen wants to know if you can link to a Facebook business page without linking to your personal Facebook page.
Okay, so you can link it to a business page, but you have to sign into your Facebook personal. It's going to ask you to sign into your personal, and then it's going to pick up all the business pages that you're associated with, and then you link it to that.
Yeah, and then it's not linked to your personal page. You can just interact with it on your business page.
Yeah, so for example, when I signed into Facebook that first time, it's picking up that I manage the Rotary Club. and my Beyond Engagement business page. And I'm like, okay, I want all my Instagram posts to go to my Beyond Engagement, not my Rotary, or not myself personally, my personal Facebook account.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So other things that post is offer promotions, link to blog posts. So there's this thing what you can do with Facebook. Facebook owns Instagram. So if you use Ads Manager, there's a way to create an ad where if you are utilizing stories, which we'll be talking about in the next few slides, you can have the swipe up option. So whenever you're viewing stories, if you want someone to go to your website, you have to tell them to swipe upward. You have to have 10,000 followers to have the ability to do so. But with Facebook Ads Manager, with Power Editor, and we can talk about this in more detail at the end. We don't have to have the 10,000 followers to have people swipe up to go to a blog post or a landing page or your website. But we'll talk about that in a second. Another thing to post is a cause-related marketing. If you're working with a nonprofit, holidays, events, employees, if you're highlighting a specific employee, what they do, what they offer, what is their birthday, those stories about that. So messaging. So I love knowing that everything is in one spot. Facebook and Instagram have one hub for their messaging. So this is so important. So whenever the last time you checked your Instagram account, if you go to the far top right, you can see all your messages there, and you can see if someone's mentioned you as in a story. Again, we'll be talking about stories in a second here. But for example, my friend Josie mentioned me in her story. So I got a message saying Josie mentioned me in my story, and I double tapped it. I liked it. So she knows that I saw it. You can have quick replies. So if someone is always messaging you on Instagram, what are your hours? What is your website? Very same type of question over and over, you can set up quick replies. So you can, it's just like how Facebook, you have these automated messages and automated messaging capabilities. You can do the same thing on Instagram. You can set up quick replies. So you can say, what are your hours? Where are you located? Because if you're in one of those buildings that has multiple businesses and they can't find you, you can say, I'm in the Chinese building, the Chinese restaurant building on the 3rd floor. You can set that up that way. Another thing I wanted to talk about, when someone has a question, when someone DMs you, sends you a direct message on Instagram, I do something very fuzzy and personalized. I go to the little camera icon and I record a this is depending if my hair is done and if I have my face done, but I go to the little camera and I take a picture or I do a video answering the person back versus messaging them. I reply back with a video, and it might surprise them, it might shock them, especially if I'm not wearing makeup at the time, but it's a good practice to make your marketing more fuzzy. And to access the quick reply is the same area. So now where the camera is, but the little plus, and that's where you set up the quick messages, replies. So that is something that I highly recommend when you're doing your messaging, is to do those fuzzy things. Analytics. So Instagram, so great because you can just access your analytics very easily and it's not too complicated. And let me break it down for you here. So you go to the 3 lines again, you go to your profile, you go at the top right here, and you go to the 3 lines. And this is where you go to get your insights. So when you go to your insights, it shows you your insights for the past 7 days. You can change it to put in the last 30 days. You can see how many accounts have reached, how many people have interacted with your content, how many followers have increased or decreased. And then it shows you what you posted that week and the stories you posted that week. And it shows you what the analytics are for specific posts. When I click on the posts that I've done in my news feed, it shows me what are the posts that have gotten the most traction and in the last year. And unfortunately, this is the story of my life. I hate it, but it's the truth. People like seeing pictures of me or with pets. I hate doing selfies. I hate doing videos, but if I don't do it, they're going to remember my competitors that's just across town from me that has a good friend that's a photographer. I use most of my pictures are me just using my iPhone. But what I wanted to show here and go back a step is when you click on posts that you shared and you go here and this little arrow, it shows you what are the posts that have gotten the most traction. So I got 1,000 views or with this specific post, and I think it was the novelty that this business opened during the pandemic, and it was an Airstream coffee place. It might have been that got the most traction. I know when we had the Highland Cow Festival, me buying a hat that looks like a Highland cow got a lot of engagement, me with a puppy. So again, and here with Hershey, he's actually in the office with me right now, my dog Hershey. It's one of those things that you look at this, you're like, okay, this proves to me that I need to do more of this specific type of post. So this is why I'm talking about it. You can see here, you can adjust it to the last year, the last 30 days, the last 7 days to see what is this thing that you need to be doing more of. When we look at the follower breakdown, again, it's all there in the analytics. It can tell me the day of the week, the top cities. So I live in Johnson City, Tennessee. I'm about an hour and a half from Knoxville. So I have a lot of people in Johnson City and surrounding areas, and it shows me where they are located. The age ranges. So this is the big thing. Everyone's like, Valentina, the boomers are not there. The boomers are there, people. The boomers are on Instagram with the political situation and the climate and all the fun stuff. I don't know how to paraphrase it, but people have left Facebook. They're on Instagram right now. And this is an old screenshot, but I just wanted to show you that they are there. People from and this is just my analytics from my account. So now this was taken maybe a couple of months ago. Now I think I have even more women and less men following me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, and then it shows you the time of the day of the week, the time of the day that they're most active on Instagram. This is really good. So if you see that this is when they're most active, then maybe I want to post something an hour before they're more active, so I can start getting some traction before the prime time at 6 p.m. So when we look at professional, let me just check if I have any questions here. I don't have any questions. So how to access this? You can either go to the little sandwich icon, or you go to professional resources. And I'm quoting here from Facebook or on Instagram. It said, as part of our ongoing effort to give creators, well, this is what I was telling you about. Creators are the accounts that are not linked to a Facebook business page, but they're bloggers, they're influencers. And I didn't see anyone that was a blogger or influencer here in the audience. But as part of our ongoing effort to give creators and businesses the tools they need, we are launching Professional Dashboard, a central destination to track performance, access and discover professional tools, and explore educational information curated by Instagram. So again, you can either access your analytics up here where the little sandwich icon is, or you click on this link right here. Oh my goodness. And then when you go there, it tells you view your insights, promote a post, or boost something. So this is how you can do that with that business account that you have set up here. All right, let me check the chat box because I see it. And when it blinks, it's like, I need to do something. Can you define blogger? That is someone that makes a living off of their blog. They have ads, they have traction, they have people following them, people that are actually reading their blog posts. So that's what, and it's mostly when I think of bloggers and influencers, I'm thinking about the people that take selfies of their sandwich while they're promoting their jewelry, or they're promoting their clothing, or what the shoes they're wearing. That's what I think about when I think about creators, which are the bloggers, the influencers. I hope I answered that question correctly for you. So we're going to talk about the scariest thing, that's the scariest thing for me, which is lives. I can't tell you how scary it is and intimidating it is to do a live. Let me just stop for a second. Who has done lives? Let me just look at the chat box here. Who has done lives? Who has been brave enough to do lives in their business with Facebook or Instagram? Feel free to unmute yourself. What is a live? I love Michael. Thank you for these questions. Live is when you go on Facebook and you click on the button that says live, and you're basically having your own show. You are talking in front of a computer, and you're just talking, and you might be interviewing someone. You might be doing a consultation or talking about your products or your services. So I love how I'm getting some people putting in the chat box here, We do it on Facebook and not on Instagram. I do on my radio show every Sunday. Well, Tamara, you are super brave. I love that about you. You just go for it. So I love it. Lives, they are, and I just wrote it down in a little sticky note. This is a statistic that I just found out. Daily live watch time on Facebook is up 4 times than last year. People are using live. They're going on their computer, they're going on their iPad, they're going on their phones, and they just start talking. And the dog might walk in, the kids might walk in, but they are telling a story. They're telling about the products, they're telling about their services. 1 in 5 videos right now in the platform on Facebook are now lives. So people are utilizing videos. Again, I hate doing videos. I hate going live. I hate doing it, but I know it has a value. People want to tune in. They want to know what I have to offer. They want to know what I have to share. And I tell myself, as a small business owner, because I've been in business for myself for 9 years, if I don't go live, if I don't put myself out there, then I won't get new clients. If I don't get new clients, I can't pay for my kids' gymnastics. I can't pay for my daughter's piano lessons. I can't pay for these things. I can't pay the bills. I have to force myself and put my face out there. So let me go back to sharing my screen here. So back to live. So again, it's one of those things that you have to start incorporating. And on Instagram, all you do is you go to the home screen and you swipe, and then there's a button that says go live. But before you do so, let me share some tactics that are beneficial for you. When I go live, 2 things. I have a script. So I have basically my script that I'm telling you today. I don't know if you guys are still seeing my screen here. I have a script. I know exactly what I have to share. I know exactly what bullet points I have to cover. I usually go live between 10 to 20 minutes. It notifies my audience that I'm going live. It's saying Valentina's live. Valentina's live. You should join her. You should join her. Another thing is I tell my audiences in advance that I'm going to go live. I know that I feel most confident when I leave the salon. I get my hair colored every 6 weeks. So I know that 6 weeks from today, I have my hair appointment. I can tell my audiences 2 weeks out, a day out, an hour out before I start going live that I will be going live. So that's something to think about. I know someone locally that goes live every day at 10. And she either features another business owner, another female business owner, or she talks about what she has in the shop today, or she talks about a specific product that just launched, or Mother Day products. Let me just check the chat box because I saw something show up here. Is it always a Facebook Live to post on Instagram? You can go live separately. So you can go live on Instagram by itself, or you can go live on Facebook by itself. Usually I have a tripod with me and I have my iPhone, and I go live on Instagram with my iPhone, and then I go live separately, or at the same time I have both things facing me and I feel like my eye is going to go this way and the other eye is going to go that way. But I try to take advantage that I'm live, which I don't do as often as I would like to, and I have both screens facing me at the same time when I do go live. So that's an option to think about when it comes to going live. So let me talk about stories. This again, I never know what the level of knowledge of every person that attends before I do these presentations. So what I'm doing right now is just showing you a little bit about each specific thing that we need to cover on Instagram. And that's why I'm here to answer questions and to stop the presentation, answer questions, and then show you physical examples of how to do this. So stories, 500 million people utilize stories daily. 500 million people. 500 million people. And that is an old statistic. According to the gurus, it's up to 700 million. People use stories. They disappear in 24 hours. So what a story is, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, and it's the first thing you see when you visit the news feed. It's these little circles, and it has the faces of the people that have uploaded it. It disappears in 24 hours. I always share the story of me being an amazing wife. My sister-in-law, my husband's sister, was coming to visit me from Miami. It takes 2 flights to get here. She took the last flight, was supposed to arrive at midnight. She didn't show up till 3 in the morning. And I offered to pick her up. In my sleep deprived state of mind, I had an epiphany when I was driving to pick her up at 3 a.m. I saw that with stories, I can actually see the faces of the people that see my stories. And half those people that see my stories never like, never interact, never comment, never do anything with my newsfeed post. But I can see the individual people viewing all of my stories. And I know the chat box is going crazy right now, but I want to tell you the value of stories. Most of my webinars are at noon. So I normally grab a bite to eat at 11:30, a very sad looking sandwich in my dining table. And what keeps me company, other than my dog Hershey that's down here, is I turn on the stories and they just autoplay. And I see what people are posting about behind the scenes stuff, what they had for lunch, what they're going to have for lunch, what they've done today. So this is why I have to stop. And this is the slowest you'll ever see me talk in a presentation, is to prepare you for stories. So someone's unmuting themselves, so I will look at the chat box now. A live is usually saved. We are able to download, to edit, or repurpose and share it on other social media. Yes. So when you have a live, you can save it and then you can repurpose it. That's a great question. And then it can go to your IGTV, which we'll talk about in a second. So again, stories, you can go live in your stories and then it stays in your stories, or you can put it in your news feed. So stories, let's just talk about it. When I go to my news feed and I swipe, I can upload a picture from my camera roll, and that's my story. Again, it's easier for me to show you once I close the PowerPoint presentation, but every time I do a story, I upload a picture or I do a video of myself. I go to this little sticker. It looks like a little thing that's peeling off, a smiley face with peeling off. I go there, and this is the most important slide. I use stickers. This is how to increase organic engagement. Remember, someone had asked me, how do I increase the organic engagement? How to get more people following me? I utilize the stickers here. I add my location. So yesterday or the day before, I was talking about this presentation that I'm doing with you guys, and I added Rochester, New York. So that might push my content to a radius outside of Rochester, New York. If I knew the score's handle, I would tag them so they can share it to their story. I can add a hashtag. We'll talk about hashtags in a second, but hashtags are keywords, what you want to be known for. So I would have done hashtag Instagram webinar or hashtag Instagram tips when I uploaded my picture about the webinar that we were doing today. I can add a GIF or GIF, however you want to say it. I can add the date. I can even add captions. So this is really important for Kristen here. They just added the little sticker where you can add captions. So if people are determining what you're watching, and they say that 78% of people watch videos on mute, this is a great tool to utilize. You can have a countdown sticker. So Tamara could have posted something on Instagram talking about the webinar, and people get notified of when the countdown has ended. You can add questions. You can add poll questions. There's a lot of things you can do with Instagram. So let me just cover over here and see what the question is here. Okay, so again, when you go on Instagram, you open your Instagram thing. Let me just stop the share here. I don't know who's seeing my post here, but basically you go to Instagram, you just swipe, and then it appears, the stories, and then it has a little small itty bitty little box, and it opens up your camera roll. When you go there, you can upload a picture you've taken in the past, or you can just take a picture. But the little stickers are in that little happy face that's unpeeling. So that's where all these little options show up on Instagram. Again, you can Google it, or I can stay at the end of this and I can actually physically show you. But for the sake of time, let me just continue on here. And let me go back to the presentation. So to open up stories, you go to your home screen, and then it picks up all the pictures you have in your camera roll. So I picked this one. I go to the little sticker thing on the top here, and then all these options show up here. So I click on location, and it says, where are you located? And I put Rochester, New York. And then it pushes my content potentially to people in that area. Or I can add a person's username. So I don't know what Tamara's username account is, but I can say @Tamara something. And I'm assuming that's what it is. And then she gets notified that I mentioned her or tagged her in the story. I could add hashtags. I can add music. I can do various things with Instagram. This is what's going to increase engagement. This is going to get people to see your posts on stories more likely. See, this is how it shows up. So when I swipe on newsfeed, this is the little icon that appears. This is all the pictures you've had taken in your phone. So I can just click that and then that picture overtakes this. There's features. You can add fonts. You can add, multiple pictures at once. I click on this option and I can click on a feature called super zoom. Again, all these things are very easily found if you just Google it, and you'll have people demonstrating step by step on how to do this. But basically you go here, you can click on super zoom if you have a physical product. So Rachel has crafts. So if she wanted to take a video, there's various cutesy little filters that you can do to create these videos. If you want to do a selfie or record a video, there's a thing called hands-free. So if you have shaky hands, you don't have to hold the button to do a video. So that's super important when you're talking about Instagram, is doing those features there. So again, you can Google it and it shows you step by step on how to do that. What I wanted to show you, this is the most important thing that I wanted to show you. When you do your stories, you can actually see the analytics. So right here, it says 221. It has 221 people. Tamara, this is what I was talking about earlier, the Girl Scout chocolates that we sell in the fall.
Oh, awesome.
So what this is these are the Girl Scout chocolates that I was telling you about. I never have 221 eyeballs seeing my content. And I think it's because the fact that I mentioned Girl Scouts or something related to the chocolates. So what I love about this is I can see the number and then I can see the eyeballs. I can see the faces of the people seeing my stories. And each specific story that I post, I can see the analytics. If I click on the little bar graph next to it, it shows me how many people went back, how many exited, how many went to the next story, how many accounts it reached. And then this one that I wanted to show you is I added the location. So it's pushing my information to the Johnson City area. So people that don't necessarily follow me potentially might see my story because I added the location of where I'm at. So again, it gives you an information on what this number is, what's the 62, and then it shows you. So when I click on the next slide here, it says, what is exited, what's forward? It tells you there in a little button what each of these impressions and, analytics means when you do that on your stories. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about is that if you wanted to post something only to your best customers, your top 10, your VIPs, there's a button called close friends. So whenever you upload a picture onto your stories, it says, do you want to post it to your stories or your close friends? Again, this is your VIPs, the people that are always buying from you. So I love this feature. So when you do a story, it shows up with this little purple icon when you do a story. But if you do a close friends option, it shows up with this little green circle. So people recognize that only a certain amount of people can see this specific story. And another thing I wanted to mention, I know I saw a question come up on the chat box. People that you interact with the most are going to show closest to your face. When you go live or someone goes live, they also show up closest to you. Instagram knows who you want to see posts, newsfeed posts, stories posts from the most. So it's going to push their content closest to your face or your logo or your icon. So just be mindful of that. So when someone is live or someone that you care about just did a story, it's going to show up most recently to the left side of that side. So let me just check the chat box here. I have to always hover over for a second up here and see if it shows up.
Yeah, they want to know, how are the VIPs determined?
I can actually create this list. So when you go to the famous icon, the famous sandwich icon that I keep telling you about, when you go to your profile, so I click my profile, this famous little icon here, it shows me how closest friends, so I can actually update and edit that list. See, so I go to this little icon, the sandwich icon. I can go to my settings, I can go to my insights, and then it says close friends. So I have to physically remember what their username is to upload each of the users that I want to contact in that close friends list. I have to manually input it. But it's worth it because those people know they're special because they get that little green circle in their Instagram stories. See, so it's normally this little raspberry colored, but when I do a close friends, it shows up in green. So that person's like, ooh, what did she post that she doesn't want everyone to see, just us? So on the side here, I don't normally share this, but on the side, a passion project of mine is selling Noonday Collection, which is fair trade jewelry. So what I do is every time I'm talking about Noonday Collection jewelry that I'm wearing, it's when I target these people because they know me as the marketer, but then the green circle people know me as like, what is she wearing today for May the 4th be with you day? So that's when I talk about my my passion project. So let's talk about search and how to be found on search. So 200 million people, and this is an old stat from maybe a couple years ago, 200 million people click on this little magnifying glass called the explore button. So people are looking for new topics, new people to follow, new information to follow. So this is why it's so important to think about when we are using stories, when we're doing hashtags, when we're doing all these sort of things, we want to be found by people. We want to be discovered by individuals. How do we get discovered? What we need to do is hashtags. And I know I'm going to get 1,000 questions. Hashtags is not the pound button anymore. It is search terms, keywords. So if you were doing a Google search on something, you say, I want to search Chinese food. I don't know what it is with Chinese food today, but let's just say you want to look for Chinese food in Rochester. You search that way. So the same thing with hashtags. You search key terms that are relevant to you, to your industry, to your product, to what you are looking forward to searching and being known for. So I wanted to show you these 2 screenshots. So again, Facebook, I know we're talking about Instagram, but Facebook is starting to implement hashtags again. You can add maybe 2 or 3 hashtags to old posts or to new posts. But everyone asked me this question, and I'm going to say it twice. You can go up to 30 hashtags in your post on your news feed. So when we think about hashtags, this is something super important. You might want to write this down. According to research by Agora Pulse, Instagram posts with at least one hashtag, just one hashtag, gets 70% more likes and 392%, almost 400% more comments than those without hashtags. So you can use up to 30 hashtags per post. When we think about hashtags, we want to search. That's why I was showing you the little magnifying glass. If you go down to the little housey icon, and next to it is the search with the little magnifying glass, you're going to get 2 different search results. When you go to the little magnifying glass and click tags, hashtags, or places. I didn't ask anyone if they are a brick and mortar store, but if you have a brick and mortar, you want to go to where the magnifying glass is and click places and type in your business name to see if someone has checked in. If anyone has checked in to your business, it normally notifies you in a private message that Valentina has checked into your business. One thing you want to do is you want to like and comment. And I'm an older millennial, but I still want to feel appreciated. So if I take the time to check into your business, please like and comment and say, I'm so looking forward to you talking less fast next time. But what I love about this is that with hashtags, you get 2 different search results. You want to utilize hashtags that don't have over 1 million posts, because when you do utilize, like, for example, Rochester, New York, that one is probably going to get you more seen and more visibility versus someone that's using Rochester, New York, it has 1.4 million posts. So if you were to utilize that, that's just going to get buried in the search. So you want to be more targeted and use hashtags, a little bit longer words, more specific to what you offer, what your service or your product is. So this is why I wanted to show you these two different search results. Again, it's the magnifying glass and you go to tags, or if you have a brick and mortar, you want to go to places. Another thing I want to mention is you can follow hashtags. So I believe someone was saying Rochester photographer. If you click on this, you can hover over here. It takes you to everyone that has utilized that hashtag, and you can follow the hashtag. When you follow the hashtag, it shows up on your news feed. So people that you're not aware of, people that you're not following, are not going to show up on the news feed because they utilize that hashtag and you started following them. Again, you do a search, you click on whatever term you want, and then there's a little blue button. It says follow, and you can follow the hashtag. I recommend spending 5-10 minutes a day, a week, whatever is, what you're able to do, and start following the people that are utilizing these hashtags that are relevant to you. Another thing I was going to say, there's two questions that I always get when it comes to hashtags. People always ask me, Valentina, do I put the hashtags in the caption or in the comments? So if you're posting something on Instagram and you have it sent to Facebook at the same time, there's a button where you can have it sent to your Facebook page, then I would recommend to have the hashtags in the first comment. So you go to the little thought bubble under your post, and then I copy and paste my hashtags from my iPhone notes into the comments of my post. So I always like to throw in Disney, but this is how ridiculous and how crazy people use hashtag. If I were to click Disney, hashtag Disney, 77 million posts. Disney World, Disney Christmas, Disneyland, Disney Plus, Disney Princess, Disney Graham, Disney Springs, Disney Love. There's just so many different ways of utilizing hashtags. And another thing, if you want to utilize hashtags in your stories, there's two ways. You could use the little sticker icon and it only limits you to one hashtag. Or if you go to the font option here, you can use they recommend 3 or 4. And don't make the font too small because then it won't be searched or found when people are searching that hashtag. So again, you can add fonts in this little sticker icon, and then it has a little hashtag sticker, or you can go here to this font, you can type out what you want the hashtag to be, and then you can just click onto your story or send to story, and then it goes to your story there. IGTV. I know it's a lot of information. I know it's overwhelming. I've done this for 9 years. And a lot of people are like, I'm a dinosaur. This is too much information. What I'm giving you is options. You might not want to do hashtags. You might not want to do stories. You might just want to do a video and do IGTV. IGTV is like the YouTube of Instagram. If you have a video that's over a minute long, it goes to IGTV. It cannot go on your news feed. You have to go through a separate, it's like a YouTube on Instagram. So it's the same, it used to be a separate app. Now it's still the same app. So you go to your IGTV and you can upload videos of you talking about product features, behind the scenes, the sort of information there. So let me break down IGTV here. So it's 15 seconds to 10 minutes for smaller accounts, 15 seconds to 60 minutes for larger and verified accounts. You can add links. That's right, people. You can actually add links in the description. You can tag people in the comments, in the description. You can add a cover photo. So when I do an IGTV, again, I'm going to my profile. The grid is all the pictures I've ever taken. And then the IGTV looks like a little TV with a little antenna. And these are all the videos that I've done that are been over a minute long. And then this one right here is pictures of me tagged by others. So again, IGTV. So what happens with IGTV is, think of it like YouTube. Share your knowledge of what you know. Start a weekly series. Go live on Instagram. You can save those lives where you answer questions, go behind the scenes, fireside chats with other people that join you, and post them on IGTV. You can create tutorials on multiple ways to use your product. Another idea that I love is why you got started with your business. Did you see a need? you loved your product so much that you wanted to quit your 9 to 5 to start a 5 to 9. So these are things that to talk about with your IGTV. And then when you do that, before you go ahead and click post, you can decide whether you want to share your IGTV to your Instagram feed as well. Instagram has the option where you can share a 1-minute preview of your IGTV video to your Instagram feed. So doing so, you can go to your IGTV video right here where the grid is, and you can share each individual one with a little paper plane icon next. So that is something that I want to mention. Okay, I knew there was going to be a question coming in. Let me just check here. How are VIPs determined? So that's your own personal how you determine your VIPs. I know who are the people that are always buying from me or asking me to join webinars, and I add that into that closest friends list. So that's how I determine that specifically. So when it comes to IGTV, I can go to a post and share that specific post to my stories and tell people, hey, I just did an IGTV, and I share that to my stories, and people can tune in and click on more to see. One thing that you were talking about VIPs, I don't know what I was posting about. I think I was posting about an Alzheimer's with the Alzheimer's Association. I got all these comments. If I swipe, you have to be very careful because I've actually deleted the comment. If you swipe and you go this way, you can pin the comment. This is really good for frequently asked questions, or if someone said reading something nice, someone gave me the little kiss emojis, I can pin that comment. So if someone wanted to know your hours or say something really nice about you, you can pin that comment. So the first thing people see in the comments is that specific person's post. You can actually delete it if it's very offensive. Just wanted to show you that option. One thing that I talk about, and Tamara must love this picture. I love Marketing Rebellion by Mark Schaefer. The biggest takeaway, and this is something that you might want to potentially post, is reviews. Someone has mentioned something nice about you, you can repurpose that. I think Sharon mentioned that she's becoming a whiz with Canva. Canva is a great tool for any business owner, Canva, and you can create these beautiful graphics. All you need is just a nice picture. You can even borrow the pictures from Canva and create these stunning pictures, testimonials, reviews. And one of the biggest takeaway from this book, Marketing Rebellion, is 2/3 of the touch points during the evaluation phase of a purchase involve human-driven marketing activities like internet reviews, social media conversations, word of mouth recommendations from friends, family, and online experts. This is why it's so important to pour your all into your post, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because when they see your face and they see the time that you took to post a picture, they're going to remember you, and they're going to be like, you know what, I really should just promote Sharon. I really should promote Tamara. I really should promote Kristen. Like, do those sort of things. So I highly recommend taking the time to post about testimonials in your Instagram feed. So let me see here. I see there's another question. Every time I try to hover over to stop share just to have the little chat box appear, it takes me a second. Canva, there you go. Canva is the new word of mouth, and you should create a word of mouth strategy for both online and offline. Tamara, you deserve a cookie, because that is so true. That is so true. So I just wanted to mention that. How to be top of mind. So we're almost at the end of this presentation here. I'm going to tell you about how I read a Forbes article and I almost had an anxiety attack. So I read this Forbes article, and this is super big. This is another insider secret tip that I'm going to share with you right now. And hopefully I'm not making you hungry. I know we're getting close to lunchtime here. So I read a Forbes article. This is gonna blow you away. This is huge. Businesses have a 60 to 70% chance of selling to an existing customer, while the probability of selling to a new prospect is only 5 to 20%. Let me repeat that because I talk really fast with my Miami accent. Businesses have a 60 to 70% chance of selling to an existing customer, while the probability of selling to a new prospect is 5 to 20%. This is a stat from Forbes. They say it takes about 12 interactions to close a sale. How do you become top of mind, other than using the hashtags, other than tagging your location? That's something that I mentioned here, adding your location, your post, and your newsfeed post. What can you do to be top of mind with without being sales pitchy. So this is something that I want to share with you. This is something that I saw when I read that statistic. I get my business logo done on these truffles by Valentina Chocolates. It's 100% of the proceeds benefit children charities. So I put my logo on these truffles. And what I did when I read that Forbes article was I got 3 boxes and I sent it to my most outspoken fans that I have, businesses that I've worked with. They shared the box of the truffles to their social media posts. That exposed me, my business, to their audiences. Then I repurposed that post of them talking about the truffles that they got from me, and I shared it to my audience, and now they are getting exposed to my audience. Remember that user generated content, 73% of people make a purchase decision based on their user generated content, which is pictures from other people. So that gave me an inspiration. Like, how do I become top of mind? So this is how you go top of mind. If you are a nonprofit, if you're a business owner, I would really encourage you, if you're not on Instagram every single day and you're like, maybe I have to be on Instagram now that I attended this webinar. If one thing you want to do right now, you go to the person's profile. So whether it's a donor, a sponsor, someone that has neighboring business, someone that works in the same building as you, so your best customers. I did this for 2 years. I had post notifications turned on. So when so-and-so posts on Instagram, it shows up on my home screen on my phone. Like, for example, I'm obsessed with Allie Brown. I just said here, Allie Brown official just posted a photo. Every time she posts on Instagram, I have notifications turned on my home screen. Again, this is not for everyone. This is for donors, sponsors, people you worked with in the past, people that are big fans of your work. You do this because if you are not on Instagram every single day, you won't see that post. You won't see that person posting. So for 2 years, I had this turned on because I was doing a webinar 2 years ago and I was showing someone how to use it. So for 2 years, I was talking to Tamara about this pink box that I get in the mail. Let me just stop my screen here. This is a plug for them. So for 2 years, I get this pink box, Sparkle Hustle Grow. Every month I get this box. So I turn on the notifications for this account. This is a box subscription for female entrepreneurs. It comes with a book on trading. So for 2 years, I had this turned on. So every time Sparkle Hustle Grow had a post on their news feed, I would have notifications turned on for posts, not necessarily for stories or IGTVs. So every time she posts, I double tapped that I liked it or I commented, and I was a member of it. Well, at the beginning of COVID, they hired me to be part of the team. And she approached me and she said, Valentina, your social media is so polished and you're always interacting and engaging with our posts. And it was because I had this puppy turned on. I go to the profile of the account that I want to interact with. I go to the little bell icon that has a little check mark and I turn on post notifications. Every time they post, I double tapped and liked it. They notified me on the home screen. Again, you're not going to do this for everyone. You're going to only do this for special people that you care about. So it does make a difference. And this is how you become top of mind. So whenever someone's posting on Instagram, you show up there, you show up in the comments, you show up that you like it, and they remember those things. So I want to thank everyone that has joined me today in this webinar. I know it went fast. I know it was a lot of information to cover, and that's why I allocated time to answer questions for you guys. If you have any questions that come to mind, and I definitely will share the slides with Tamara as soon as I'm done here. It's going to be in a PDF format with the Dropbox link, so it won't be too bulky in your email inbox. But if you want to reach out to me, this is my contact information.
If you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box and Valentina can read them or I can read them to her. Oh, Sharon is asking about fundraisers, about how to do fundraisers, maybe online or get more donations for her nonprofit.
So I would have some sort of strategy where you say, okay, we're going to post about motivational Mondays or quotes. We're going to do a behind the scenes thing. We're going to highlight an employee once a week. And then maybe I say 80% fluffy stuff and then 20% have a call to action. Hit them up. You don't want to always say donate now, donate now, donate now. It might be more a behind the scenes type of post. So if you do that, that little link in your bio, that's when I would utilize the link tree and have multiple links in that one link. And it might be your homepage. It might be how to contact us. It might be how to, fundraise or donate or what have you. So that's how I would push that out there. I always like to end my presentations with a call to action, with a takeaway. So I would love to know, Tamara, let's get started with you because I love putting you on the spot since you're so awesome.
Great.
Tamara, what is your biggest takeaway? What is one thing that you found that was relevant to you or useful or that you would start implementing today?
About the hashtags and the locations, and also those green circles. I want to be a green circle. So I'm going to have to start getting active on Instagram so you can add me as a green circle.
This is my username right here in the chat box. So I can start following you guys back. If you follow me, I'll follow you back because I love supporting the people that attend my webinars. So if you want me to follow you back, start following me.
And
yeah, the green circles.
Yeah, the green circles, but also, I mean, I like the way that you told us about how we can, connect with those VIPs, right? And give them some extra special content and, or, first looks or something like that. So I've got a whole lot of ideas running through my head, but Linktree, I went ahead and I signed up. And so now I'm just going to input my links because, I'm starting the email signups. I've got a coaching, program that we're doing, and of course all my webinars and master classes and stuff I can put all in there. So thank
you. All right, Rachel, tell me your biggest takeaway. I feel for Rachel because she just attended one of my webinars. I just blanked out which one it was, but she was attending a webinar last week, so she must like my webinars. Thank you so much, Rachel.
I like you, Valentina. You have so much energy. It was Facebook, I think. I think for me, it was about the stories because I haven't really started using stories yet and how to hashtag and use the stickers and stuff to broaden our reach.
Yeah, I forgot to share this statistic, but I think it's like 78% of people are most likely going to find your content if you add your location. And I work from my home office, so I just add the city and state. And then I have a PO box, in the center part of the city. So I sometimes add my business location as the PO box, but no one knows it's the post office. So, but it definitely encouraged the use of locations. All right, Gregory, I'm so nervous to see what you're going to say because you are not a marketer and you're more of an operations person. So this must have been so I don't know what is your
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen a documentary called The Social Dilemma?
I have never posted a picture of my kids because I know too much about social media. You're a social media consultant and you've never posted a picture of your kids because I know too much, and watching that would put me over the edge.
What, watching the movie?
But I have not, to answer your question. Yeah, watching the movie would probably put me over the edge because I know so much about social media already, and all the gurus that watch it, they knew these things, but I think it just really it puts it out there more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was your biggest takeaway, Gregory? What was the biggest takeaway you learned today?
I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you do something on Instagram and there's some reaction. How do you distinguish between whether that's a signal of what you did or just noise?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I'm not a PR person. Every time something related to PR comes to me, I direct it to someone else. But that is a good question. It just depends on the type of response, if it's positive or negative. Sometimes I think even the bad stuff is something. It's something out there.
Well,
so
it's
I
not about
think,
good or bad. It's whether
if it's
what
something
you did.
that's
But I'm not asking about good or bad. I'm asking whether what you did actually caused the response you saw.
That is a tricky question.
Was it just noise? Was it just?
Yeah, because that's the thing, because it's always hard to find what sticks, like the spaghetti when you throw it in the cabinets. What is it that's going to stick? And I noticed that what really resonates with people is when they see me talk. I was posting a lot of motivational quotes at one point, and then I changed tactics and I did more videos. Oh, it says my internet is unstable. because there's a storm coming right now. Sorry about that. There's a big storm coming over here right now. Let's see, Joe. Let me read the question that Joe has. He's saying something about the private accounts. I follow private accounts. And that's the thing. That's why everything I'm teaching you today is for business accounts. Because if you have a private account, no one's going to see all these things that we're talking about unless you physically allow them to. But I sometimes, yeah, so that's why I follow private accounts as well, because I interact with them. I'm going to like and comment with those. If it's someone of value, if it's a VIP person, I would take the time to do that. Let me see. Let me go on to the next person because I know we're getting low on time. Michael, what was your biggest takeaway? I really appreciate all the questions you were asking throughout the webinar.
For me, I think it was the connection between Facebook and Instagram. I knew one owned the other, but I didn't realize, and it sounds like if I'm already using Facebook, that it's pretty easy to connect and convert. And so it's maybe not as much work as I was dreading.
Yeah, it's once you have a system in place, like I have a system in place. Hold on. The storm is coming, so I'm trying to get Hershey out of my office before the storm comes. So I'm letting him out for a second. He's almost 14 years old, so he's a little slower these days. But it's if you have a system in place. So I know that I'm not going to post every day. You don't have to post on Instagram every single day. What you have to do is see what works for you. So you might want to post once a week. You might want to post a story. I want to remind you that when you do a story for the first time, it's going to notify your audience that Michael is posting a story for the first time. So be mindful of what that first story is going to be, but just experiment with a couple of things that I've done today and take it in baby steps. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just take one thing and say, okay, I'm going to start adding the hashtags. I'm going to put all my hashtags in the notes section of my iPhone and just add it in the comments. Maybe it might be 3 hashtags. You don't have to go crazy with all 30.
Well, mostly I have a lot more questions. If I share from my Instagram business account, it only lets me share to my Facebook personal page. It doesn't even let me see my Facebook business page to share to that. And once I get it on Facebook, the share button goes away. You can't, if you share from Instagram to Facebook, you can't reshare on Facebook.
I might have to reach out to you, Sharon, and do a troubleshooting thing to see how you have it set up. So I would be glad to do that for you, Sharon. And when you asked that question, it prompted me to tell you about Creator Studio. So when you go on Facebook, and I shared this with Rachel last week when I did a Facebook webinar. When you do a Facebook post and you create a post, you go to a thing called schedule post or something. It takes you to Creator Studio, and that's where you can go and create your Instagram and Facebook post in the future using your desktop or laptop.
Right, but that's not that. My question isn't how to get it to both places. It's how to share someone else's Instagram posts to my business page and not my personal page. For some reason.
Okay, I use the repost app. I use the repost app. So you might want to look into downloading the repost app.
All right.
I just put it in the chat box, but I didn't want to forget the previous question, the first question you asked me before we even got started. So that's how you use that. So you can just go to the 3 dots on Instagram. It shows you how to do it on the repost app. And that's how you can create that post from someone else's post.
All right, and I still have to learn about fundraisers because there's an option, but I don't know how to use it.
Okay. Any other questions? We have a couple more minutes left. Christine, what was your biggest takeaway?
Mine, one of them was finding out about the IGTV, and of course my brain was starting to go how we can use that for SCORE as well, but need to find out if we have an Instagram account for SCORE because I can't remember if we set one up or not. Obviously we haven't used it. So that's one which I thought was fascinating. I think that was the main one right now. And then, you know, all the features that are actually available in Instagram, which I wasn't aware of. So it was nice to have those, you know, presented.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, are there any other questions? If not, I really want to thank you again for joining me for this Instagram presentation.
So I want to thank everybody for coming. And sitting in on our webinar. Thank you very much to our presenter, Valentina. It was great to work with you and have you come and present for SCORE. And if you guys are ever looking for a business mentor, and remember, a SCORE mentor, you can just ask one question and be one and done. You can bounce an idea off of them. You can go to them 100,000 times. It's whatever that you need to start, run, and grow your business. And it's all free. You can get your mentor by going to greaterrochester.score.org and clicking on Find a Mentor. We will be adding more workshops. We've got a couple of workshops coming up that need to be added to the website. So when you're there, just click on Take a Workshop and you can sign up. And also, if you want to join our mailing list, you'll be the first ones to know whenever anything new gets started, when we put out new radio show things. And if you are a SCORE client and you're a local business, you guys are all invited to be guests on our radio show. You can just email me. I'll put my email in the box, but it's tamara.mcduff@scorevolunteer.org. And we're happy to have you on as a guest and get you marketed and out into the community for your business. So if you want more information, just email me. And I think that pretty much wraps it up for right now. Thank you very much for joining us today, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.